Alright guys, it is Saturday, December 11th, 2021 at 10:55 a.m. Alright guys, so I just uh, went through a difficult evening last night because I was live tweeting all the tornadoes that were passing by in the south, as I had warned in my previous videos about severe weather overnight. So I was live tweeting and trying to warn as many people as possible through the tweets. And then I went to sleep, and then I woke up and then saw the devastation at daylight. I haven't seen all the videos and pictures yet about what's happened, but it's pretty crazy what happened last night. So many people passed away, and there's prayers and hope for those families out there. So please pray for the families and people suffering through this. Let's go through a couple dailyverses.net verses. It says, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." Hebrews 11:1. "For we live by faith, not by sight." 2 Corinthians 5:7. "And may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." Romans 15:13. Please remember to pray for these people that lost basically so much last night. Let's start with CNN. We have deadly tornado slammed through 6 states. A possible quad state tornado potentially cut a path of 250 miles long. A possible quad state tornado possibly cut a path of 250 miles long across 4 states Friday evening, leaving a path of devastation. The storm is the latest severe weather event, tracked more than 250 miles through several states, including Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, and Kentucky. The National Weather Service in Little Rock tweeted, "One or more deadly tornadoes were spawned with major structural damage noted." It says at least 30 tornadoes were reported across 6 states: Arkansas, Illinois, Kentucky, Missouri, Mississippi, and Tennessee. At least 50 people are likely dead or passed away after multiple tornadoes barreled through southwestern Kentucky late Friday. Other deaths have been reported in Arkansas and Illinois. The potential for more severe weather continues over the weekend as the system moves east. You see here, the storm of this latest severe weather even tracked more than 250 miles through several states. So they haven't looked at it yet, if it had lifted or not, or if it had gone exactly through 250 miles. They still have to analyze the data, but from what they're showing, it went through 250 miles. One or more deadly tornadoes were spawned, and a major structural damage was noted. So that is one of the deadliest and longest tracking tornadoes on the ground. It says more than 100 tornado warnings were issued Friday. As you see the image here, these are all the tornado warnings across the states. It says tornado warnings issued December 10th through the morning of December 11th. It says more than 100 tornado warnings were issued by National Weather Service offices Friday before midnight. This is the highest number of tornado warnings issued on December for any December day, according to CNN meteorologist Brandon Miller. Biden calls a loss of life of storms an unimaginable tragedy. And here are some of the images. It says heavy, huge damage in Mayfield, Kentucky after a tornado swept through the area. It's one thing to see the image of this town. It's another thing to be live tweeting it and looking at the radar images as it's happening. And they showed the radar image just as it went through the town. It lofted debris up to 40,000 feet in the air, and it was devastating. It was a very sobering moment because we had to basically, the whole Twitter community, whether the Twitter community was saying no words. We can't really say anything when you see the radar showing signatures like that. It's just devastating. Okay, it says FEMA director says Kentucky will have all federal resources necessary after storms. So the Emergency Management Agency is going to have resources ready. It says, "My heart is with the people of Kentucky after the devastating tornadoes last night. I just spoke with Governor Andy to ensure that all federal resources necessary for Kentucky continues search and rescue efforts. About 331,000 customers are without power in Tennessee, Arkansas, Kentucky, and Indiana. So, heads up for you guys who live in those regions. Video footage shows extreme storm damage in Mayfield, Kentucky, damage of the courthouse, and then they have short clips. I'll leave you the link to this page. You guys can check that out as well. Alright, so up to 100 feared dead in Kentucky as tornado strikes several states. The worst tornado damage we've seen for a long time, is what they're saying. President Biden this morning said that he briefed about the tornadoes that struck 6 Midwest and southern states overnight. In the tweet, Biden described the storm deaths as unimaginable tragedy. So, the president being briefed on the tornadoes. There's some images of these large tornadoes. Dramatic photos of the deadly tornadoes are thought to have killed dozens, injured scores of people. Meteorologist Zach Holder, more pictures of Monette and Leachville tornado as Jordan Brown, absolute monster in Arkansas. And then you see the images here. It just looks like dark clouds. It was a nighttime tornado, a couple tornadoes, so you pretty much can't really see a lot, but you can see the shape when the lightning strikes in the distance. You can see the outlines of these storms. And here's another tornado. There's another look of the tornado near Bay from Kaylee Lawrence, and you see the image there of the tornado in the distance, taken December 10th. And then Reed Timmer. Here is the wedge tornado as it was entering Monette, Arkansas last night. The tornado then constricted as it approached and crossed the Mississippi River after I-55 and seemed to even get stronger in western Kentucky. And as you see, it doesn't look like much in the picture, but you just see the outline after lightning strikes. You can see the outline in the distance of a big tornado just sitting there. Alright. And then another image from Reed Timmer saying massive mesocyclone with a wedge tornado below approaching Haiti, Missouri, sadly causing substantial damage. This is the longest track tornado I've ever chased, but could not keep it up across the 4 states. More tornado warnings in western Tennessee. And there you have the image of the tornado. They look like horrible monsters because they were just dark shadows. People couldn't really see what was coming. It's nighttime, people are sleeping, so it's great to have either weather radios or have some sort of news so you can have heads up for what was coming. I'll leave a link to this article as well. It has videos, so you guys can check out the videos. And then also 2 workers killed after a collapse at Amazon warehouse in Eatersville. It says officials are confirming 2 fatalities at an Amazon delivery facility in Edwardsville following Friday night severe weather. Multiple people were trapped inside the facility after the storm damaged the building. There is a search and rescue effort underway. Officials are wanting to release the names of the victims, but Clayton's mother's on the scene and said she learned their son didn't survive. She said he was a maintenance worker at the facility. So please pray for the people in Edwardsville who are still in the Amazon warehouse, and these people were trapped, and it's still morning hours, so they're probably still going through the rescue. Alright, so Kentucky tornadoes, at least 4 touchdown, up to 100 people likely killed. That is a lot of people possibly passed away, so please pray. It says we believe our death toll from this event will exceed 50. Kentuckians will probably end up to 70 or 100, said Bedshear. So that's probably outlook of Kentucky's possible death toll. Please pray for the people in Kentucky. It says tornado outbreak leaving a path of destruction through Arkansas. Says outbreak of storms starting early Friday evening spawned tornadoes that ravaged communities through Arkansas and left at least 2 people dead. Authorities in the small northeast Arkansas town of Monette issued a state of emergency and told residents to shelter in place. According to emergency crews heading to the Monette Manor area where there were numerous reports of damage. Crews on the scene reported at least 2 people had died at a nursing facility and 5 others were injured and there were also reports of as many as 20 people being trapped under 20 people being trapped under collapsed portions of the building. Power outages have skyrocketed across the state as the night has worn on. More than 29,000 customers without power around 8:20 p.m. All right, guys. So that's all the articles. Let's go into my Twitter page. All right. This is from an hour ago. A gusty line of storms is moving still right now through Tuscaloosa, Birmingham area as of 11:05. Winds of up to 20 to 30 miles an hour, but the storms are well below severe weather limits. Temperatures fall once the storms pass. So some storms are still passing through Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, but they're not severe weather as strong as the ones last night. AccuWeather, an update on the deadly tornado outbreak. At least 50 people feared dead in Kentucky. Multiple fatalities at Illinois' Amazon warehouse. Aerial images show devastation in Mayfield, Kentucky. Kentucky governor, most severe event in Kentucky history. Let's take a look at some of these images so you guys can get a clue of what happened last night. Look at this. Just leveled. Just destruction everywhere. That's just sad. Alright. Let's go to the next image. This is one of the tornadoes that happened in the middle of the night. People could barely see. And this is the Amazon warehouse. It collapsed, trapping people inside. People being rescued probably still. So prayers for the Amazon warehouse and the people in Illinois. And then this is basically the swath of storms that went through the country with the most severe event in Kentucky history. Alright. This is Reed-Timmer, 56 minutes ago. This is a wedge tornado that was entering Monette, Arkansas last night. A tornado constricted as it approached and seemed stronger to western Kentucky. Also, Sue Ostro talking about the Mayfield tornado. This is the scope of what happened in Mayfield. Here is another video from Chris Jackson. Here's some of the looked around I-69 and Highway 80 in Mayfield. Those trees are just shredded. Just right across the highway. That is pretty spooky. Look at that. Just shredded trees laid down as the tornado passed. Alright. Here is from Weather Nation, a destruction of Mayfield, Kentucky. It spans miles. I'll look at the video larger so you guys can check it out. Look at this devastation. It's just Mayfield, more than our memory. Historic downtown, Mayfield, Kentucky, and then this is the aerial footage of what the tornado did as it passed through Mayfield. I'm telling you, looking at the footage and then looking at it on live as the radar passed and it just showed a plume of debris was devastating last night. And then this video from Ivy, downtown Asheville last night. So that's downtown Nashville just last night, just showing the alarm sound going throughout the entire town in Nashville, Tennessee. It's pretty spooky. Also, a candle factory collapsed Friday as a violent tornado struck Mayfield, Kentucky. Our crews and rescuers were going through the wreckage from Weather Nation. Also, from Chris Jackson, this was a $500,000 gallon water tower in downtown Mayfield that took a direct hit from the tornado, then subsequently collapsed, creating a huge crater underneath it and pulling concrete footers out of the ground. So that's quite devastating. Alright, so there was also damage in Monette, Arkansas, a nursing home that had multiple casualties last night. Then there was from storm chasers, Texas storm chasers, breaking at least 50 people killed in Mayfield, Kentucky overnight. And here are some of the images. You guys can check out these images. Look at the debris. The cars just flipped. People just digging through to see if they can help people. And then another car and just shredded. Look at the debris. It just looks like rubble crushed. It's crazy. Prayers for Kentucky for the overnight storms happening. Also, Chris Jackson live from Mayfield, Kentucky, looking at it was nighttime. There's barely anything you can do. It's just trying to get as many people as to safety as possible as you can. So I'll leave you guys the link as well to my Twitter page if you want to see. This is me after. This is at 10 hours ago. It says after 4 hours of tweeting warnings, tired. Please stay safe tonight and prayers for all affected tonight. It breaks my heart seeing all the devastation tonight. Good night. That was me after tweeting for 4 hours straight. Warnings. As you see here, all these tornado warnings I tweeted. Looking at Jim Tang did an amazing job sharing all that information live and helping as many people as he could. It was just a crazy, crazy night. And I live tweeted as much as I could, as you can see here, all the warnings, all the tornado warnings, back to back, just so that people could be to safety. But that's the end of this video. I'll leave you guys a link to all the stories and my Twitter page so you can see all the live tweets that I tweeted. Please pray for the people devastated last night. It was a crazy night, and so many people are affected throughout the country. Please pray for their families and for the communities because we really need it. Alright, guys. See you guys next time. God bless.